From the class info section, let's move on and take a look at behavior. As I mentioned in the settings video, you can turn on behavior in settings and you can also toggle it off if you decide not to use this section. Behavior is a section where you can keep track of student behavior by awarding points or removing points. And students are able to use those points to get different rewards. That could be, tangible things, or it could be time, extra recess, passes to, a field trip, something like that. So first thing we're going to do is just take a look at how to set up those points. So you want to first start with editing your points library. There's a button at the top right. You just click Edit Library, and here is where you can add behaviors that you want to incentivize. You just give the behavior a title here. And you can assign any point value for that behavior you'd like and select an icon that matches the behavior. Then I click Add, and I've got another value here. You can also set up takeaway points. This would be for behaviors that you want to discourage. There are differing opinions about negative point values in the behavior tracking world, so this is totally up to you. I do want to point out that you can set the point value to 0 here. So this might be something where you could set it up just to track the behavior without being punitive. Or you can set up any point value to remove from a student for a behavior. Lastly, here you can set up your points point library to where your students can spend those points for different things. Once your point library is set up, you're ready to start giving points to your students. And that's super easy. You can just click on the student's name and go ahead and give them points. And if you have turned on in settings the sounds, you'll hear those positive noises. A lot of teachers like to display this on the board during a class, and students enjoy hearing when they get positive points. If you wanted to select all of your students to give them points, you can really easily do that with this entire class button. So now I've given everybody a point. I can deselect all at one time as well. Or if you have a group of students that did something really great, you can reward a group really quickly. You'll notice here that there is this option to leave a note. So if I wanted to leave a note for Heath's parents about Heath's behavior, I can type up my message and I can add this note here. By design, when we assign points to a student or just add notes, parents are not going to be notified. Parents will only be notified if they have a new message or an announcement is posted in the room. And that's because we don't want them to get that notification fatigue that can come from too many notifications. However, if there is something that you do want to notify a parent about and you also want it to be tracked in behavior, you can leave this note, but check here to send that as a message. So that is going to add that note, but it's also going to send a message to Heath's parents so that they know what's going on. Now I've selected Heath here. I can click View Details, and I'm going to see all of the details about Heath's behavior and an activity log of all of the behaviors. This class data section is where you can come in and pull a report for either your entire class or for individual students. You can use these buttons to quickly add a time frame, or you can customize that time frame. So this would be nice if, let's say I'm going to look at my entire class and I want to look at this third quarter. So I can see the points that were given over third quarter for the whole class, how many positive points, how many negative points, and this is something that I could then download as a spreadsheet and keep for my records. It's a great way to add incentives for a whole class's behavior, whether that's for quarter, for the month, for the week. The other thing I can do is if I select an individual student, I can click this export as PDF, and this is going to create a nice graphic that I can print if needed and give to a parent. This is something you could have pulled up for parent-teacher conferences or that you could send home with a student. So just to recap, once you have set up your points library, you can really easily go in and select students to assign points. You can view the student's details, their record. You can also see the class data here to pull reports. And lastly, with this leave a note feature, you can send notes as a message to let parents know about student behavior.